Hello everyone. This shall be my very first Supremacy video, and what we're gonna do is discuss the French H1, things that nobody else has probably taught you so far, because it is things very little people pay much attention to, and when they do it, they're absolute big pros and probably not really creating much content, which is where I will fix this hole today. It is transferable knowledge for most civilizations, though I will focus on France in this video to keep it short and possibly make videos on other civilizations in a similar way. Therefore, let's get rolling. Quick little step-to-step tutorial. It has no specific purpose that we're applying on this specific map. So, we log into a game. What is the first thing we do? I personally always hotkey my TC, my Explorer, and my Native Scout right away, which means I do this. What just happened is I pressed my TC hotkey T, bind it to 9, which is my TC hotkey in most games. I press the Explorer hotkey and bind him to hotkey as well. Some people do that, some people don't. That is up to you. And I do the same with my Native Scout. So now you can see these 3 symbols, which means my starting setup is done. The first very important thing is that we want to queue a villager ASAP. Now, we need to know what our villas cost, 120 food, and we need to know how many resources our villas gather in one tick. CTBs do 25, normal villagers do 20. 120 divided by 25, okay, we need to tick 5 times. Now, if we leave our villas to do whatever they want right now, what is going to happen? These 5 villas are going to bump all onto this crate. However, this crate only has 100 food, which means that is not enough to queue a villager. And if 5 villas do 25, then 1 vill is basically wasting his time. Which is why you see most pros do the villager split, which means I would pull 2 or 3 villas into my TC, like this, by a drag box, click in, select the TC, right-click another crate, because this is where I want them to pop out, and then use N as my garrison hotkey, which you can see down here, to teleport them onto this crate. Boom. That's the first step. So now I will even use this last villager on a different crate, because again, if 3 villas gather from this crate, they will take away 3 ticks, 25 food left. 2 villagers are going to waste their time the next time they take away. So we want maximum efficiency. Next thing to note is France wants to build a TP at all costs in H1. A trade post with these 200 wood. Which means you sort of have to know where on the map is a trading post. If you don't at the beginning, that's okay. I didn't either when I first played the map, take a solid guess. But you usually want to send your Explorer to that right away. I, for instance, know TPs are either down here or over here, so my Explorer is going to go here. Note, do not pick up treasures on the way. Why do you not want to pick up treasures first? Why do I not take the coin first and then go here? Or why do I not crackshot this guy first, take the food, and then go to build the TP? So on most maps, the timing is extremely tight for the so-called first trading post pass. You're going to see when I build it. Your first trading post pass means, so for a trading post, the train is always running, right? Or like the trade thing is running. And if you miss the first pass, that is going to be, depending on the map, a lot of XP that is going to miss for you, which means your first shipment comes in late. Your first shipment with France is 3 villagers every single game. 3 villagers coming in late is resources missing for you. The chance is very high that those resources missing would make you age faster than getting 20 coin would do anything for you right now, 30 coin. Alright, so I rotate my map, you don't have to, I love to do that. So now we have our vills macroed properly on the crates, our Explorer is clicked to the trading post. What's missing? That's right, Native Scout. What does our Native Scout do? Most people will click him the opposite way and scout. That's not what a pro does. A pro knows that his trading post will be built very soon and wants to make sure his Explorer can pick up the most beneficial treasures, which means we use our Native Scout on the same side as the Explorer and try to scout what the explorer can find after. Alright? So that's what we do. Alright, so now we've got that queued. And we shift click every single bill. So what I just did here is I killed a hunt that is closer to the town center as the one that is currently dead. The reason I do that is because when I want my new bills to pop out, I want them to have the shortest distance possible. The shorter the distance, the faster they gather food, the faster I age in the end. On this map, I just realized we have the special occasion where the hunt does not move, the starting hunt. This is my second hunt, and this one is going to move. But yeah, herding would be another point that is very important. Make sure your hunts die next to your TC, so when a bill comes out, he's immediately gathering. For instance, now I see this TP, and I already found one food treasure. Treasuring in age 1. Specifically for France, what do we want? Gathering food is efficient because you gather food the fastest resource. Gathering wood or coin, not efficient. So we would, for example, not want to have to chop 100 wood. That would make us age really late, and a fast age up is so important. If you play at a lower level, you might not really know the difference yet, but after a certain point of skill, you will notice that if you're 1 minute, 30 seconds, even 10 seconds slower than your opponent, you're at a disadvantage, and it sucks, and you often lose the game because of it. That's why, for instance, you see someone like me or Kaiser or any other pro be so complaining about age 1. It's like, oh my god, I fucked up the hunting. Oh my god, this, that, blah, blah. Because it matters. It matters a lot. It's not just complaining, it matters. Okay? Alright. So we built the TP, we use our native scout to scout the pathing, and oh, fantastic. A food treasure. So that is what we are looking for. There is exactly two scenarios of things, maybe 2.5, that are interesting for us. I said we don't want to gather wood. What options does it give me to age up? The first option is I'm going to queue up to 9 villages, overpop with 3, and it's the so-called 12 out of 10 because I will not build a house. In that case, the only option I have to make my age up smoother is to get food treasures, right? So I would aim for all these food treasures. The second option I have is the 13 out of 20, which means I do build a house, but I said I don't want to chop wood, which means I would need wood treasures. So for example, I have the 40 wood here. That's not enough to convince me of building a house. If I found an 80 wood or even 2 wood treasures, I could change my mind and be like, okay, I'm going to build a house. Those are the two options you have. I said 2.5, 2.5. The half option is if I found a big XP treasure. This is coin, so that's useless. XP treasure would mean the same thing as a TP. If we find it early, it can boost the speed at which we get our first card, and it would transfer into a food treasure because our bills arrive faster. Alright. Native Scout keeps going. We queue more bills. I'm about to sneeze. Fuck my life. So this is another coin treasure. That's not interesting for us. And there you see. I ran to the TP right away and built it. And this is the pass. Imagine if I was finishing this TP 3 seconds later because I picked up this treasure first. I would miss this XP pass. And you see, I am closer to my shipment now. So I'm gonna get my 3 bills faster because I remembered to ignore the coin. That doesn't help me age faster anyway. That is what you want to do. Alright. When we take a treasure, we have precisely 2 ways to go about it. The efficient way, or let's say the HP efficient way, where we take less damage, or the time efficient way. What I'm doing right now is the HP efficient way. I'm waiting for the Guardian to retreat, I'm shooting it, And now I'm gonna keep a straight line, like we imagine that there is a line between me and the crocodile, and just keep our distance. So now we've taken no damage. If that was too complicated and you don't know what I just meant by that, let's say I shot this crocodile from out of range, where it goes back. Now imagine there is a line, follow my mouse, this would be the line that I'm drawing right here. This is the line between me and the crocodile. So you want to keep that horizontal line between you and the crocodile, which means if you were to shoot the crocodile from here, it would attack you. Well, if you stay behind this line, so like from here, 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 or here, the crocodile is not going to trigger the attack. I know this is a little complicated to understand. I hope it makes sense to you. If not, just try it out, test around with the angle to shoot a guardian from, and you will get it. So now, as I said, I've taken no damage. And since I have picked up one food treasure, the only thing I'm interested in is another one. Now I've picked the time-efficient way, which is shooting once, running, shooting twice, and now coming closer, accepting damage, but therefore I will get the treasure faster. Now that I see that this hunt is about to run out, I have to do something about it. Which means I will shift-click these vills onto this hunt or possibly kill another hunt. You always want to do that. You never want to risk that your vills shoot a hunt. It takes 2 vill shots to kill a hunt. If 5 vills shoot, 3 of them basically did something they didn't have to do, wasted their time, they could be gathering food. Alright, so this hunt is dead. We move these over. Oops, shift click fucked up, I didn't pick this up. And as you're gonna see, we will have some idle time with the TC, but that idle time is still better than if we had to wait a lot longer. And now you see, right now, the second that my vills are getting idled, or my TC is being idled because I can't train another vill, I have no house pop, I'm at 649 food. This is considered a really good 12-10. The better means the more food you have in bank. If you have around 500 or 550 food right now, it's barely worth it. You're still missing 250 food for the age up of 800, and you'll be really slow. Well, if you're at 650, you'll be aging pretty fast. In that case, it's worth it. So it really depends on your treasuring in age 1. And yes, in some games you will get unlucky. I admit, you won't always find what you look for. But in most games, you will find either food, wood, or XP and be able to get a pretty good age up. Like for instance, I didn't have an XP treasure, so my vill's on the way. If I had an XP treasure, my vills would already be there. And then having less food would be not as bad because I have more vills to gather it, right? So if I already had my vills with more XP, it would be okay to just be at 600 right now. Same thing again, I shot the hunt to kill it and then used the TC to bounce them on the other side, saving myself like 5 seconds of time for the vills to walk there so they can immediately gather. Vills arrive. And as you can see at 2:14, basically 2:15, I will be clicking up to the second age. For those of you who do not pay attention much to the time yet up here, use the time to confirm how well you're playing. Comparison. A normal, fast age up from a civ like British, Dutch, Spain, Germany with 16 vil, like all these standard civs will always click up to the next age at around 2 minutes and 40 seconds. A civ that is a bit slower, let's say you queue one more villager with, for example, Ethiopia, Germany with 17 vils, Italy, you will queue up your age up around 3 minutes. So in comparison to that, you as France have the option to click up at 2:15. You can be up 30, 25 to 30 to 45 seconds faster than your opponent, which is an entire shipment. If you get this down, your France is significantly improved. If you transfer this knowledge and this thinking pattern onto your other civilizations, anything you do in H1 is improved. It will immediately bounce up a few hundred elo points. You don't know yet how much the H1 matters until you've tried it. In case you're not able to transfer knowledge this easily, do not worry. More videos are to come. Maybe sooner, maybe later. I don't know yet how active I will be with the video production. Sort of gonna rely on your feedback to these videos. And with that being said, that actually is it for this one. I wanted to teach you the French H1, and I did. And I hope you can apply it in your new gained knowledge in your next game. Bye bye!